Welcome, everyone, to the Tandem Got an Update webinar. My name is April, and I'll be providing the training today. So here's our agenda for this session. We'll start with a brief overview of what Tandem is in case folks aren't familiar with all of the features. We'll go over those new features or what's changed for those that are familiar with Tandem. We will walk through the full process of creating a Tandem account. And then last, we will go over some advanced options to really fine tune what your clients see if you wish. All right, so what is Tandem? A Tandem account provides features that allow a client corporation to view and generate reports based on data that transfers automatically from their attorney's AppColl account. Data is transferred on a nightly sync. The data that is transferred on that nightly sync from the attorney's account to the corporation's account is completely controlled by the attorney and can be adjusted or stopped at any time. And I'll show those settings for you to adjust or stop that, so you'll be aware. Of course, Tandem got an update, so you now have access if you are an administrator to that new Tandem module. You now configure the sync prior to sending a Tandem invite. So the process has changed just a bit. You can instantly preview an account and customize dashboards and then share that particular view with your client. That's all from the new Tandem module, of course. We're going to walk through the full process today. We made Tandem easy to set up and configure settings. One of the things we hear from new users of Tandem is that they are nervous about exactly what their client will see. You can easily select from sync options and preview the Tandem account from your client's perspective. There's no more waiting for that. We're logging in to do that. It's just a click of a button. So we'll show that today. It really helps alleviate that worry. Your Tandem logins are also unlimited, so there's also no need to worry about any additional cost. Your clients can easily view data and create and run reports. There are basic data entry features they can utilize in the account without updating or affecting your account. We made the process simple. So like I said, we'll be going through the process today live in the system. We'll begin by selecting which data to sync to the client account, which includes matters and contacts by default. I'll also show you how to choose whether or not to sync tasks or files, and then fine tune your sync to selected columns if you wish. You can access the account to view it from the customer perspective prior to sharing the invite to them to log into their Tandem account. Once you send the invitation, the invitee will be guided through the process of creating that account. And then once they set up and enter their password for the first time and they log in, the Tandem account syncs nightly, so there is no need for any further configuration or updates on your end. If you have an AppColl PM Plus account, Tandem is included with your subscriptions. If you are not on PM Plus, you can upgrade to take advantage of this included newly enhanced feature. We're going to go right into AppColl here. I already have the new Tandem module open. And the first thing we're going to do is begin by creating a new Tandem invite. So start by clicking the Create Tandem Account button. And I'm going to begin by selecting the client. In this case, we will select this one. So note that Matters checkbox is already selected here. Matters will automatically sync. You can click this drop-down button here to choose which fields will be synced. If you want to choose additional fields besides just the default fields, only key bibliographic fields are transferred by default. For instance, I believe the note field and any custom fields are not included by default, but you could check those there. There is also a way to view and edit which fields sync from the Matters module, which I'll show towards the end of the training here today. You'll then want to select whether to also sync tasks, which I'm going to do. It's going to show me which of those columns will sync. There is a place to edit columns for tasks. I will show in the advanced settings here in just a bit, but that'll show you what will sync. And you can also sync files. I'm going to go ahead and check that as well. For tasks, note that all external deadline tasks, whether they're open or completed, that are associated with your client's matters will sync if you select that option. So that's important to note that your client could see any past due external deadline tasks depending on what you choose to sync. All right, I'm going to go ahead and click that create button. Now, once I click that, it is creating the account right now. It's creating the sync. While this is processing, I'll just also know all contacts associated with your client's matters also sync. I'll show how to work with advanced sync options at the end if you do want to choose from. Further options also like syncing prior art. So we'll be doing that too. Shouldn't take too much longer here. Looks like it's almost done. And it's going to update and let me know that the sync is started. So you'll notice we have this new account here. It's in this setup status. It's still processing the sync, but it should finish shortly here. And with the account created, I can now preview the Tandem account by clicking the Access Account button. There we go. All right, so that takes us immediately, like you saw, just with one click to that account preview where I can see exactly what the client's going to see once I share the account with them. So this is the default view of the dashboard. Notice there's 6 tiles. We have defaulted reports for you already. If you want to customize these tiles so that your client sees a particular view when you log in, you just click the edit button and you can adjust what they see. Maybe I didn't share tasks with them and that was there. I might want to put something else in that data, or I'm just going to say matters issued per year here. I could change to a bar or column. That one's not going to have any data either here. We'll just do another tasks one maybe. We already have that. Yes. There we go. And notice there's also further options just depending on what report you select. So we'll just do that one for now. So just make a note that you have made a customization. So later, when we go to create the invite, we can choose this customization. So that's what they see when they log into the dashboard. So you can customize that view for them. If you want to view the records that generated a particular element in a chart, so you could just simply click in that record or hover over and you'll see what you're going to be able to open. It's going to open in a new tab and take you straight to the info there. You can also download a PNG image of the chart or a CSV spreadsheet of the chart as well. And then, of course, you may want to preview the modules that you sync to see what they are going to see. And maybe the matters or files or contacts. You can preview anything that you send to them. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch back to our main accounts. And it's really easy just to go back to your non-Tandem account by clicking the profile and clicking that switch accounts button and selecting your account from there. So you don't have to log back in again. So that's nice. I'll go back to the Tandem module. So now the matters have synced. We've done our preview and we are ready to go ahead and send our first invitation. So I'm going to click the send invite button. I could change the defaulted name of the contact in the from field, sending the email if I needed to. I'm going to go ahead and leave the default there. I'll enter the name of a contact to receive the invite in the to field. I've got my choice there selected. To appear in the list of possible recipients, it is important to note that the contact must be associated with the client and they must have an email address. Roles that allow for this include corporate counsel, employee, vendor, or manager. If you made changes to the default dashboard settings like we did, we customized one of those tiles, if you remember, I can then select my account that I customized and the clone dashboard from field. And when they log in, which we're going to see here in just a minute, they will be able to also see that clone dashboard without having to do that customization themselves. So again, if there's a certain report or view you want them to see, you can now customize that for them and they'll see it right when they log in. The subject and body of the email have default messages, but you can edit them prior to sending. If you do edit the message and send further invites, your edited message will default in there for the next time you go ahead and send an invite. You can still edit it, but just a time saver. I'm going to click the send button. It's going to ask me if I'm sure. I'm going to click OK. And it went ahead and sent the invite. I am going to pull up this invitation so that you can see it here. So they're going to get an email invitation in their inbox and they can click the here link. And there's also the full link down here if for some reason their browser doesn't like that link there. Again, if you had customized the email, it's going to send with your customizations. And I click that here link and it's going to guide me through the process of logging into my account for the first time. I'm going to go ahead and create a password. And I'll click that setup login button. And it's going to ask me to confirm. Get this here. And I'll need to acknowledge the service agreement. And if you remember, when we were creating the account, we clicked that access account button and we doctored the dashboard here. It is showing my customization for the client when they log in. So that's great. They can then view everything just like you could when you click that access account button and work in their Tandem account. So let's go back to our main account. I'm going to have to log back in here real fast. And go back to the Tandem module. So now when the client accepts the invitation, like we have, the status will update to live and you can see their last login information. If you send further invitations for the account with that send invite button, they will be automatically linked to the existing Tandem account. You can also preview activity by clicking the activity tab to look at any login or other activity. And that's the basic process for sending a Tandem invitation. So pretty quick and pretty slick. A couple of other things to note that might be helpful, and then we'll look at some of the more advanced settings from the Tandem module. The sync does run every night, but if you want to send a sync immediately, so maybe you make an update and you want your client to see that information right away, you don't want to wait till the next day, you can just click that sync now button and it will update. The manage logins button is used to give a current user in your non-Tandem account access to a Tandem account. So again, different than the send invite button, manage logins button gives that current user in your non-Tandem account access to a Tandem account. So just click in that box. The available users will pull up here for you to be able to send or add. So I would just select the person, click that add button, and then click done. I'm going to add one right at the moment. But that's how you would do that. After the login is created, the person will pick which account to log into after they enter their login credentials. And then they'll also have those multiple options under the switch accounts view off their profile. Those logins are also restricted access, meaning they will also have read-only access and not any administrator capabilities. But that's how you could have other folks in your non-Tandem account access or view that information. To view further syncing options or work with advanced settings, the easiest way to do that is to select the Tandem account right here and click the Manage Sync button. And that's going to take me to the Settings Account Syncing tab. You could navigate there too by going to Settings and then clicking the Account Syncing tab, but I just think it's a little bit easier to jump right to the info. And here is where you can make further edits and customizations. So if I click the Edit button for my newly created Tandem account here, I can work with those advanced settings. So again, you can check or uncheck sync options. The sync related prior art checkbox allows for syncing prior art from the destination account to that source Tandem account. By default, this option is turned off, but you can see that you can turn that on here. I mentioned earlier when we were syncing those tasks, if you wanted to edit the columns of those tasks that are synced, you could also add further columns if you wanted to, and sync further columns, or unsync them if you wanted to uncheck them. You can also view which of the columns are available for contacts and work with those for files and the directories as well. The mode drop down, you can choose from data options here. So the default is they view, add, update, and deleted info. So that's what comes over. If you just want them to view data that's been added and updated or records that have been updated only, you could select a different option. And then we have these further checkboxes here. That first checkbox allows for the destination account to manually sync their data at will. The second checkbox allows for the destination account to see what data will be synced when a sync is performed, either manually or via the nightly automated schedule. You can also choose from the third and fourth checkboxes as needed related to non-contact and contact records. And these selections are the default here for you. So the chances are you're going to want to leave them as they are, but do have further options. To temporarily disable the nightly sync of data, you simply uncheck this enabled checkbox. If you want to stop syncing completely, you would click this trash can or delete button next to the syncing record for the client. There's also a clear button over here, which is a little bit different in that all sync information will be cleared from the account, but it's actually just going to be retransferred the next time the automatic nightly sync occurs. So just temporarily clears the data, but doesn't delete it. It will just appear with the next sync. Probably best to just utilize this enabled and safest checkbox here, but we do have those options. You can also, I mentioned earlier, modify data synced to a Tandem account once it is created by going to the Matters module. And once a Tandem account is created, like we've done here today, AppColl automatically creates a report for the Tandem account, which I'm going to pull up here. And you can select from that report just by clicking in this Select Report dropdown. I'm going to do the one that we did today. And this is where you can see those synced matters. You may want to scroll along the page and see everything that has come across. To adjust the columns that you want to sync, you can click the columns link. You can then add or remove any columns as you want. If you do make any changes, you'll want to make sure you save the view as a report and then overwrite any existing report with this name. So that's how you could also customize those matters that are syncing over, and maybe just a little bit easier to work with since you can really see everything that's going on there. All right. One other location in AppColl to be aware of when you turn on Tandem. In the Files module, AppColl, once you create your first Tandem account, oh, I've already clicked into it here. You will see a Tandem invites folder. And you can click in that folder to view those emailed invites. So it's a full list of those invites there. And that is the full process. So one of our shorter webinars, because we've tried to simplify this feature and make it easier to use. In addition to the handouts I gave you, I also just wanted to note that we have, if you just type in Tandem, we do have these other support pages that are similar to handouts. So, this create Tandem accounts for clients that walks you through the process that we did today. There's also a video at the end, about 8 minutes long. So, if you start to do this process after the webinar, maybe it's right away, maybe it's a week or two, and you've forgotten and need a refresher, we've got that there for you, as well as how to manage data sync to PM Pro Plus or Tandem accounts. So that's a little bit more on those more advanced settings to really get it dialed in for you. So also a video with that one as well.